What's up, YouTube? I'm back again, much sooner than last time, right? Alright, I got some good news, a lot of good news. We got more updates. I actually just made another payment, so I'm finally caught up. It's November 2018, so I made my November payment. As you all know or may not know, I've lost hours on my second job. Yes, I work 2 jobs to fill the void of the emptiness in my pocket. I need more and more money to really do the things I need to do. So right now, for me, that's working 2 jobs. So on my student loans for the month of November, I was able to pay $300. Now, mind you, my payments before I even moved to this condo I'm in now, the payments before that was a minimum of $500. All right, I moved. I had to move with issues dealing with my landlord in the last place. So I moved out of urgency. The place I moved to was a little bit expensive, a little bit more expensive than the place I was in prior to. So that dropped my minimum student loan payment to $350, maximum I should say. My maximum to $350. Before I moved, my maximum was $500. That's with me and my budget, $500 before I moved. When I moved, it went maximum to $350. So I lost hours. Now the maximum I'm at is still $350, give or take, depending on monkey wrenches, which I experienced last month. So this month, November, I was able to spend $300 on my student loan, bringing my balance to $12,185. $12,185. Bring it to you guys front and center. $12,185 and 64 cents. Now, I'm proud of that. It's another push forward. It's another notch under my belt. Like I said, keep moving forward. It don't matter what pace you move forward. If you're moving slow, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I'm doing what I got to do. Even if I can only make $50 on my student loan payment, that's what I would do. Since I had to take care of some things last month, I was only able to spend $300, so that's what I did. And that's generous. They really only want me to spend $100. They say I only qualify to spend $125 a month on my student loan payment. So I'm doing the math like, okay, I could do that. That's easy. I could do that with flying colors. But what sense does that make? Depending on your circumstances, it might make sense, but for me, that's how they set you up. That's exactly how they set you up. Then you wonder why people have student loan payments until they're 50, 60 years old, because they make you make those small payments. You can't catch up. Your interest is going to eat you alive. You're going to spend way more interest. So, and doing it that way, you'll see over time, you'll see. But the reason I pay more is to nip that interest in the bud. I don't give my interest a chance to surpass my balance. So I throw as much as I can in it. Me personally, that's how you should do it. That's how I think you should do it anyway. So after that $300 payment, that only leaves me with $185, roughly $200, until I only have $11K and some change left. So every time I lower that $1,000, that's a big milestone for me. I take it, I celebrate it. But literally every payment, you should celebrate it. It should be something to be proud of, because that's progress. Like I said, every little step counts, every little bit counts. So today I wanted to also share with you guys, because I never shared this, honestly. Like, people outside of my YouTube channel knows this, so I feel like I could share this here. One of the reasons I want to pay off my student loan debt so fast is because I want to eventually go into real estate investing. That's always been a dream of mine. I know how effective it is financially, economically, whatever. More millionaires are made each year through real estate endeavors than any other avenue in the world. And that's just facts. I've done my research, I've studied it. I know people in the real estate world, so I know for a fact that's one sufficient way into reaching financial freedom, which is my ultimate goal. So I definitely want to dive into real estate one of these days. At this point in time, I can't do that. I can, but not the way I want to do it. When I do it, I want to do it effectively. I want to make sure I'm making all the right steps. Though I know mistakes and hiccups are going to occur just from never have done it. But I know for a fact if you go in with X amount of debt, which I have, that's only slimming your chances to acquire the real estate that you want to acquire or that I want to acquire. I live in Chicago, so the economy here as far as real estate, the real estate market is super duper inflated. Like, I live in the Lincoln Park area, okay? Lincoln Park, Chicago. If you know anything about Chicago, you know that Lincoln Park, you can't find a house over here for under $500,000. That's how inflated it is. $500,000. You'll be lucky to find a house, a condo, whatever, for under $500,000. Excuse me. And as sad as that sounds, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Yeah, eventually things might slow down and go down, but right now we're at the peak. We're really at the peak, and this market is going crazy, as well as other places like New York. I know New York is crazy. I know California is crazy. I know Arizona. All the West Coast is crazy right now, and so is the Midwest. So where I'm at, Chicago, go Bears. Where I'm at is ridiculous. So at this point in time, I can't really do that. So until then, I'll focus on what I have right now in front of me, my finances, my debt, getting all my finances in order, clearing this debt, my credit, thank God, that I've been working on for the last X amount of years. My credit is superb. I never would have thought that I would have the type of credit that I have right now. My credit is a 750, and it's only going up, and the reason being is that I've been paying on my student loans. Cell phone, they don't really count too much for anything. And also the fact that I have a condo here that I pay rent on every month. So my name are attached to things that I'm making payments on. And over time, it just goes. As long as you pay on time, you pay ahead of time, whatever you do not have any late payments, because that'll affect your credit dramatically. You won't even know what hit you. But as long as you stay on top of them, it'll affect it in a positive manner. So I just wanted to share that. Real estate, in my opinion, is the way to go. Whether you're renting out properties, whether you're wholesaling, whether you're short selling, I want to get into all of that, honestly. Like, I want to get my hands in every avenue, but overall, I want to have a portfolio of rental properties, because my ultimate goal, like I said, is financial freedom. And in order for financial freedom, I know for a fact you got to have multiple streams of income, but that income has to be passive. Passive meaning you don't have to be there in order to make that money. You don't have to be confined to a certain block of time in order to get paid. And I know that, so that's really what drives me every day, that keeps me going, because yeah, I got a job. Yeah, I got 2 jobs. One job full-time, one job part-time. Right now, that's what I have to do. I tell you, do what you got to do. You go to work. You do what you got to do to pay your bills, but never lose sight of like your focus on what you want to do. I know for a fact this 9-to-5 life, it isn't for me. Ultimately, it isn't for me. Right now, it's what I got to do, and I'm not complaining about it, because you meet great people. If you don't really like your job, you know you just got to go there on a mission, because everybody don't like their job. I know for a fact I barely like my job sometimes. Some of the people are cool. I got benefits. I've been there all this X amount of time, but at the same time, it's not my end all be all. So with that being said, I want to share with you guys a couple of books that I've read or that helped me actually, because if you don't read, you should be reading something other than Facebook statuses or Twitter tweets, and you should be reading more than that. So get you a book. If you're not old school like me, get the Audible app, listen to it audibly. But this book right here in particular, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, was this is like my Bible. Literally like my Bible. I've read this book 5 times already, and 9 times out of 10 I'm going to read it again because I love this book so much. It's got a lot of insight. It's filled with just biographies pretty much. It's got stories, great stories of people who's done amazing things as far as the entrepreneurial lifestyle, which is the go-to lifestyle as far as the American dream. For me, everybody has different dreams. I gotta address that. I can't stress that enough. Everybody has different dreams, but for me, entrepreneurial lifestyle is the go-to. But Think and Grow Rich, I suggest everybody read this book. Like I said, if you got the Audible app, listen to it. But this book right here will change your life. Literally change your life. It changed my life. I got this book last year, middle of last year, read it 5 times, gonna read it some more. I always go back to it. I got certain things highlighted, take notes in here, and I make sure I just revisit it just to stay on point. Another book I read, of course, this is a go-to, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, classic book. This is all real estate driven. If you don't know the backstory on Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you've literally been under a rock, and I don't know what to tell you besides get the book, read it, get the Audible app, listen to it. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. I've listened to it on YouTube. Read this like 4 times. Gonna keep reading that. Robert Kiyosaki is a genius, and yeah, that's what I wanted to share with y'all. If y'all have any questions as far as finances, I'm also going to do a video about my library, because I think everybody should read and expand their knowledge, open your mind a little bit more, and that's what I've been doing over the last, like I said, 3 years. If you would have saw me 3 years ago, you'd be looking at me in a completely different light. Like, I didn't have anything in order. Credit, what 400 and something credit score. No money in the bank, no bank account. Couldn't pay my phone bill on time. Couldn't pay anything on time. Everything was out of control. And I had that enough is enough moment, and I just said, I want better for myself. So just like that, I made the decision and I went for it. I just put my head down, came up with a game plan, and just took that first step. You got to take that first step, though. If you never take that first step, you're just going to be sitting there stuck, asking yourself, because you know what you need to do, but you just don't do it. That's the easiest thing to do, is procrastinate. Like, just even making this video, I was running around all day, and I had it in the back of my mind, like, okay, I'm off work today. I can make a video, I can make an update, but I'm running around. So I get home and I sit down for a second, sit down on the couch, watching a podcast, listening to a real estate podcast, and I'm just pause the podcast 10 minutes in, like, you know what? F this podcast. I'm going to make me a video and display my updates, because I have stuff going on. So sometimes you just got to get up and do it. Take the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 approach. As soon as you get to that one, go. Don't ask no questions. Figure it out. Get it done, and yeah, you'll be good. So like the video, comment on the video, subscribe. If you got any questions, like I said, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you don't know, my name's Q. Right now we're talking finance, but I might change that channel name, because I feel like everything that I'm dealing with right now is pertaining to finance, but overall is mainly about my evolution, or the evolution of, evolution into manhood, young adulthood, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, like the video, comment, subscribe. I'm out.